King Van's story seems to have no end, and now word is spreading that a nurse is finally coming forward with the truth about his final moments, and it's nothing like anyone imagined. Remember when Van's cousin Bo claimed that
he was supposed to have 3 surgeries, he made it to 2. He hopped out the bed after the second surgery and supposedly started fighting the nurse.
That same nurse is breaking down exactly what happened inside the hospital room, and it's even wilder than anyone expected. Let's dive into the hospital drama and uncover what really happened while King Von was fighting for his life in that Atlanta hospital. As the chaos unfolded, conflicting reports about his condition began circulating among his family and inner circle. Early word that reached Bo, through Caleb B. and others, suggested Von had only been shot once and was in stable condition. But the reality was far more dire. Von had suffered multiple gunshot wounds, and the damage was severe. Bo still recalls the heartbreaking moment he learned the truth from Von's sister, Sky.
And I hear her in the kitchen crying, Sky. I heard her in the kitchen crying, saying that he gone and this and that. And I'm thinking, like, what you mean he gone? Like, I just talked about him. What are you talking about? And she like, yeah, they saying he, like, she crying.
The confusion over Von's condition continued to swirl, with Bo caught in the middle trying to make sense of the optimistic updates he had received and the devastating news Sky had delivered. The conflicting information left him anxious and overwhelmed, unsure of what to believe.
Like, I can't even really get out her like I'm out, like she's crying like that. So I'm thinking, like, what are you talking about? Because we just talked to Ronnie, he just told us this. He told me and his baby mama Missy, the mother of his daughter, like, Missy crying.
Official reports from the medical team and the Atlanta Police Department confirmed that King Von died from multiple gunshot wounds sustained during the shootout. Though the full autopsy has not been made public, leaked details paint a grim picture of the severity of his injuries, including gunshot wounds to his right hand, chest, and most critically, a fatal shot that entered through his back. The damage to vital organs led to massive internal bleeding, and despite the medical team's efforts, they were unable to save him. The official cause of death was listed simply as gunshot wounds, with no reference to complications from surgery or other contributing factors. However, in the years since Von's death, Bo has made some explosive claims about what really happened during those final moments in the hospital. In multiple interviews, including one with 16 Shot-M visuals, Bo alleged that Von actually survived 2 surgeries and later died after waking up and allegedly getting into a physical altercation with hospital staff.
Yeah, so, I was in Chicago at the time, but, was telling me, like, his sister, Kayla, she told me, she said that he had 3 surgeries, but he made it. He was supposed to have 3 surgeries, he made it to 2. He hopped out the bed after the second surgery and supposedly started fighting the nurse.
Bo stuck to his shocking claim, stating Von survived 2 surgeries but died
and asked the nurse, where's his gun at? Something like that. And then he died because he went into shock.
This account, which suggests that Van might have survived if he had just stayed calm, has been met with significant skepticism. Medical professionals and social media users have labeled it as exaggeration, pointing out the effects of anesthesia and the severity of Van's injuries, including spinal trauma that likely would have left him paralyzed. Patients recovering from major surgeries, especially those with traumatic wounds like Van's, are typically heavily medicated and physically incapable of doing what Bo described. Additionally, posts on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, have directly refuted Bo's story, citing investigative reports that state Van was shocked 5 times and pronounced dead at 4:48 a.m., never regaining consciousness. These counterclaims align more closely with what would be expected given the extent of Van's injuries. It's also important to note that Bo's account has evolved over time. In earlier interviews, he mentioned receiving fragmented, often contradictory, information about Van's condition. At one point, he was told Von had been shot once, only to later find out it was 8 times. Similarly, he initially received optimistic updates about Van's surgery, before eventually learning that he hadn't survived. Bo himself admits that, in the confusion following the shooting, he was working with limited and unclear information.
So, Like I said, Vonnie, he talking to me and Nisi, telling us that Von Good, he got shot one time, and this and that whole time he got shot 8 times, and I need to know. But I'm feeling better inside my head.
Another perspective on Van's final moments comes from someone claiming to be an operating room nurse, who shared their account in a Reddit comment. According to this user, Van died from blood loss due to damage to multiple organs, including his pancreas, spleen, and small bowel, which likely led to sepsis. While this explanation aligns more closely with what you'd expect in cases of gunshot trauma, it remains unverified and doesn't mention any altercation with hospital staff. The controversy surrounding Van's last moments has only deepened over time, with various other claims and theories emerging. Some fans have speculated about possible connections between Van's death and those of other rappers, like MO3 and Young Dolph, pointing to the similarities in the dates of their deaths. Others have suggested that industry factors, such as the ownership of music royalties, could have played a role. However, these theories lack solid evidence and are largely dismissed by credible sources. King Von's manager, Jameson Francois, known as 100K Track, who was present during the shooting and was also injured, has never publicly supported Bo's claim about Van fighting with nurses. In his interviews about that night, Track has focused on the shootout itself, offering no details about Van's time in the hospital. This suggests that either Track wasn't present during those moments or doesn't agree with Bo's version of events. His account ends with Van being taken to the hospital.
Don't know anything that's going on. It's when I look at footage, I'm seeing all that. Yeah.
Okay, so did you actually see Von get shot?
While Bo's account of Van allegedly fighting with nurses has gained attention, especially within hip-hop news circles and on social media, it represents just one version of events that contradicts official reports and medical expectations. The night everything changed on the streets began at 3:20 a.m. On November 6th, 2020, at that moment, no one knew the hip-hop world was about to take a massive loss. The tension started when two groups, including King Von and his crew, got into a heated confrontation, which quickly escalated into gunfire. According to 11 Alive News, the argument turned violent in an instant, with both sides exchanging shots. Two off-duty Atlanta police officers, along with another officer nearby, tried to intervene, but their presence only led to more shots being fired. When the chaos finally ended, 3 people were dead, including 26-year-old King Von and 34-year-old Mark Blackley. 3 others, including Van's manager, were injured.
So, from what I understand, King Von was in his car outside the club, and someone approached him, one of his guys approached him and said, "Hey, you see Quando Rondo, I guess asleep in the car," or so somewhere around in the area.
They see so-and-so.
Yeah.
Track explained exactly where he was when everything went down.
Right with him.
I'm in the front seat because at that time we drove in a Hellcat to the club, and when we left, I jumped in the same car, but he jumped with the security in the bulletproof truck. So when I came to the car, we've been waiting outside for almost 40 minutes.
According to security footage and witnesses, King Von confronted Quando Rondo and immediately started throwing punches. The situation quickly escalated when Timothy Lull, also known as Tim Leaks, one of Quando's associates, jumped into the fight and began firing his weapon. In the chaos that followed, Van was one of several people hit by stray bullets. Track himself was also injured, taking a bullet in the leg during the melee.
You get hit yourself?
Yeah.
In the leg?
In the leg, yep.
Did you realize you were hit?
That was my first time ever getting shot. I never got shot before in my life.
Yeah.
So, an adrenaline run. So, when I got hit, it sent a straight shock came through my body. Look, but I didn't know where I was bleeding.
King Von's cousin, Bo, wasn't at the scene when everything unfolded, but he received the devastating call from Van's sister, Kayla B, delivering the heartbreaking news.
I think it's like 2 o'clock, 2:43 to be exact out here. I'm asleep. but I see a missed call at 2:43. But I called 10 minutes later when I woke up and see my phone from Kayla, and she like, I called her back. She ain't answering. I call again. She answered. She like, I'm like, yeah, what's wrong? You called me because I'm automatically thinking it's something because it's like you in Atlanta. You calling me at this time, and I'm in Chicago.
When Bo finally got Kayla on the phone, she delivered the devastating news, leaving him in shock.
So she like, yeah, she sleeps. So she like, yeah, I was calling you because Von had got shot one time, but Louis got shot and got shot. They saying that Louis and gone. Von said he got shot once.
The first report Bo received claimed that Van had only been hit by a single bullet. But this would later prove to be false when the doctors revealed the extent of his injuries. Bo explained how the information he got quickly changed, with details, shifting from hopeful to grim as the truth came to light.
Found out that he good and he in the hospital, he good. This and that, she like, he got shot one time. Come to find out he got shot 8.